Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative Headline News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Starting off locally here in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister slams former PM's comments. Emperor Thanos Rowley's comments. The present tyrant Cams is condemning these two hypocrites. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar has responded to a Facebook post made by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on Tuesday. Speaking with TV6 journalist Joel Brown, Persad-Bissessar addressed Rowley's comments and gave the following responses. Under Minister Alexander and AG Jeremy, there have been 400 less murders in the last 15 months than were projected to occur based on the rates under the PNM. Serious crimes are also down 15% this year. Oh, Lord. You know what's the sad thing about it? Now, the statistics might be true. But this woman is basically saying, I have all rights to continue to infringe upon the citizens' rights of Trinidad and Tobago to a fair trial and to be released from custody. I have all rights to continue to declare a state of emergency in order to fight crime, instead of actually reforming the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service so that their detection rate can significantly improve. And the UNC fanatics bawling amen. You know, they don't mind that our country has become a dictatorship and a police state under Kamla, you know, because there's the precious Kamla. They don't like the dictatorship under Rowley, but they love it under Kamla. You understand what I'm showing you? And the thing about it is, the TTPS used to be boasting about crime reducing under Rowley as well. But PNM strongholds have seen the largest decreases in murders and serious crimes over the last 15 months. And yet we still hearing a whole set of murders every day, people. Telling you the propaganda just continues. If he wants to end the SOE and fire Minister Alexander and AG Jeremy, he can go ahead and do it. What? He said you're supposed to do it. How you want him to? But anyhow, I know that's just I don't know. Let me go ahead. I don't know how he will do it. Right, you see, but someone should explain to him that he's no longer Prime Minister and has become what he always complained about, a Facebook troll. Kamla, he said, you supposed to do it. What you drank last time, Kams, or whenever he made this statement, where was drinking, eh? Where was drinking? Water? I feel it's water. Anyhow, I can't stand politicians, you know, because Rowley never said he's commanding the police or he's commanding the state to fire these people. He said, Kamla, you are the Prime Minister, do your job. Fire them. He never claimed that he had the power to do so. Kamla, what's going on with you, boy? I'm telling you what really going on with you, boy. You're sounding worse than Rowley, I'm telling you. Babe, I can't believe that I find Rowley's a better person than you now. I don't mean that he's a nice person. I just say that he's better than her. My Lord, wow, boy. The country recorded the highest murder rates over multiple years under him, with the majority of murder victims being young Afro men killed in gang violence and PNM strongholds. His government did nothing to help these communities, far less the rest of the country. How are you helping them? How are you helping them? By locking them up without the rights to a fair trial? Locking them up without charges being laid months upon months later? That's how you helping them, Kamla? Eh? I'm telling you, I can't understand this, you know. I can't understand it. How people could really believe that it's okay to suspend the constitutional rights of citizens in order to fight crime, you know. How much longer will she continue to do it for, my dear UNC fanatics? How much longer will she continue to do it for the next 4 years? Will people's rights, constitutional rights, to be able to protest wherever they want, be suspended for the next four years? Please tell me that. Rowley failed to protect this country and most egregiously failed to protect the PNM's own strongholds from violent crime, but is now angry that a Hindu, she used the other kind of word, the C word, but I'm not going to state it here on my channel. But an Hindu, as his supporters call me, is doing the job he never cared to do. No. And you see what she's doing? She's trying to say, oh, Sabga and them and Hadid and them is PNM supporters. Even if they are, that is their rights, Kamala. That is their rights. But what you are doing, and Your own people use that word when they vex with each other and vex with you. And vice versa. Afros say that about Indos, and Afros use their word against their own people. And then, of course, Indos use that word, that offensive word, against Afros as well. We live in a country where that takes place all the time. But though you all want the Syrian people and the Lebanese to be totally perfect and different to all, you know. I understand that, Kamala. I understand that. But at the end of the day, Rowley is right and you are wrong. What you're doing is wrong. People like Ramesh Lawrence Maraj is saying that what you're doing is wrong. People like myself, a humble citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, who voted UNC his entire life, my entire life, is saying what you're doing is wrong. You and your Roger and your Jeremy are utterly destroying not only the country, the United National Congress. People voted for change. People voted against dictatorship. Voted against abuse of authority, people. That is what citizens voted against. And you think you come in and doing even worse than your predecessor. Kamala, you have no shame. You have no shame. Your arrogance is showing clearly for the entire world to see. You cannot continue to govern this country via an SOE. You cannot continue to do so. I hope and pray that the Privy Council will finally, right, because there is a case from 2011 where the final decision is pending. Supposed to be coming up later this year, hopefully. I hope and pray. Privy Council, come on, man, fast track that, man, please. So that we can finally find out if it is that our constitution, which was flawed from the very beginning, allows the state, allows a government to declare a state of emergency for ongoing issues like crime. It doesn't matter if it's still being reduced, crime is being reduced, Kamala. The reality is, you will never end crime using an SOE. And therefore, that means it will continue, and murders will continue. And so that year after year, you are going to say there are existential threats. Are you going to do that? And then therefore boast that crime is being reduced? That cannot continue. And therefore, what the Privy Council needs to do is to make it clear that you're only supposed to use an SOE in certain specific cases. And that is, if there's a natural disaster and there's chaos within the country, you temporarily declare a state of emergency. If there's an insurrection or widespread rioting, you declare a temporary state of emergency, and once law and order has been restored and peace has been restored, you end that SOE. Those are the only reasons, people. Those are the only reasons. And that is what you do when you have a democracy. Right about now, we don't have a democracy anymore, people. We are under a full dictatorship, and this is why I am not even confident that we will have elections in 2030, because this woman is behaving like an even greater tyrant, an even greater dictator than Rowley. I cannot believe it. I'm not praising Rowley, people. I'm not saying that I would ever vote for PNM or go back and vote for Rowley, I never voted for Rowley in the first place. What I'm saying is she's an even greater dictator. The student has become even more evil than the teacher, because Rowley basically teach Kamala how to be so vindictive and evil. She wasn't so when she was younger. She realized that Rowley basically got away with it, and the law never held him accountable. So she think in her mind, she could get away with it as well. Let us hope and pray that the Privy Council can save this nation. And if they don't, then people, we are in for very dark, dark times in the future.
Weather report for Wednesday, July 29, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago. The weather forecast for Wednesday, July 29, 2026 in Trinidad and Tobago calls for partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies, with daytime temperatures peaking at 30 degrees Celsius and dropping to a low of 24 degrees Celsius. According to the official Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service, the region will experience a few showers that may become heavy during the morning hours, bringing a risk of street or flash flooding and gusty winds. Additionally, a mild concentration of Saharan dust will be present in the atmosphere, creating slightly hazy conditions. Atmosphere and marine conditions. Expect sticky conditions ranging from 70% to 95% humidity. Winds will move from the east to southeast at 5 to 35 kilometers per hour. The heat index will feel like 33 degrees Celsius during peak hours. Marine conditions feature moderate seas with open water waves hitting 1.5 to 2.0 meters. Spring tides are currently in effect, so mariners and beachgoers should exercise caution.
Regional news now. The opposition People's National Party PNP has accused local government minister Desmond McKenzie of overstating the level of funding available to municipal corporations. I wonder if that happening in Trinidad here too, boy. Because nothing happening, nothing happening in any of the regional corporations here in Trinidad and Tobago either. No progress. No significant progress. Arguing that his recent comments have created the false impression that local authorities have adequate resources to maintain Jamaica's roads. Telling you what we have here in Trinidad and Tobago right now is patches as usual. And we ain't even have patches. Right now in my district, corner of Lindsay Street and Gilk Street in Sandy Grande, one big pothole that's like a swimming pool. I complained about it since early this year. Street lights still not working either. They called me a few weeks later and that was it. It was better they didn't call me because nothing has been done since. Kamuto Manzanella, you should be ashamed of yourself. At a press conference on Tuesday, opposition spokesman on local government Nita Garvey challenged McKenzie's claim that municipal corporations receive between $600 million and $700 million each month for road maintenance, saying the combined monthly subvention to all 14 municipal corporations averages about $473 million. She argued that the minister had relied on headline figures while ignoring the amounts actually available to individual municipal corporations. Nita Garvey said the narrative had unfairly portrayed councillors from both major political parties as failing to maintain roads despite having sufficient resources. The blame game in Jamaica, just like here in Trinidad and Tobago. She argued that the current allocations are nowhere near enough to meet the demands of Jamaica's road network. Deplorable roads all over, just like here in Trinidad and Tobago, that will take a whole lot of money to do so. You want the people in them to what? To use the whole budget to fix the roads then? She said the budget allocated, right? She said the opposition is calling for greater transparency in local government financing, a fairer funding formula, and increased investment in municipal corporations to improve road maintenance, disaster preparedness, and other essential services.
We have convened this press conference because the Jamaican people deserve the truth about the state of local government and the resources available to the municipal corporations to maintain our roads and other critical municipal infrastructure. In recent weeks, the Minister of Local Government has asserted that municipal corporations receive over $600 to $700 million every month for road maintenance from property taxes. He has further berated councillors for saying that they don't have money to do this and they don't have money to do that, and suggesting that he is intending to mash down the lie. Today, we intend to separate fact from fiction. The minister has used the large figures to create the impression that municipal corporations are flushed with cash. But when we examine the actual allocations to the municipal corporations, the facts tell an entirely different story. KCMC, with 40 divisions, receive on average $85 million per month. St. Thomas, with 10 divisions, $22 million per month. Portland, with 9 divisions, $29 million per month. St. Mary, 13 divisions, $25 million per month. St. Anne, with 16 divisions, $33 million. Trelawney, with 9 divisions, $17 million. St. James, with 17 divisions, $32 million. Hanover, with 7 divisions, $13 million. Westmoreland, with 14 divisions, $24 million. St. Elizabeth, with 15 divisions, $21 million. Manchester, with 15 divisions, $34 million. Clarendon with 22 divisions, $32 million. St. Catherine with 41 divisions, $60 million. And Portmore Municipal Corporation with 12 divisions, $24 million. The total monthly allocations available to the municipal corporations do not support the minister's claim of over $600 million monthly. The average monthly subvention paid over to all municipal corporations is about $473 million, with KSAMC being the highest at about $85 million and Hanover the lowest at about $13 million. The figures presented to the Jamaican people have been inflated, combining funding streams that are either restricted or simply unavailable for routine road maintenance. Councillors, both PNP and JLP, have been broad-brushed as if they can do more because they are receiving adequate funds.
International news. Now, I am embarking on this mission with one clear objective: to ensure the security, strength, and future of our beloved state of Israel, the Jewish, wonderful state of Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister, said. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu landed in Washington on Monday afternoon for his 7th trip to the U.S. to meet with President Donald Trump since Trump returned to the White House in 2025. Netanyahu, you need to tell Trump plainly, you are not my king. You're not the king of Israel. Stop insulting my country. Stop pretending as though you have the rights to tell us what we can or cannot do. And we have the right to defend ourselves or not. The consultation between the two leaders comes as the situation in Iran remains unclear after the U.S. military ceased conducting regular bombing operations last week, following 13 consecutive days of strikes. I knew that was going to happen. I knew Trump wasn't going to finish the job. Trump just loves to play games, I'm telling you people. Trump loves to play games. He tries to intimidate the Iranian Ayatollah and IRGC into submission, and then he says, let's get back to the negotiations. Not real. I believe he knows it. He just loves to play games. He knows that these terrorist radical jihadists never actually agree to any sort of compromise, any sort of terms and conditions in order to be able to give up the ability to develop nuclear weapons. It ain't going to happen, people. It ain't going to happen. The only way to solve this problem is to remove the Ayatollah and the IRGC from government. That's the only way. Thing about it is it going to happen? It's unlikely, unless there's quite a few years before the Ezekiel 38 war. Because in the Ezekiel 38 war, Iran will be joining up forces with Turkey and Russia to invade Israel. Thankfully, God himself is going to intervene. He's not going to need America's help. He's not even going to need Israel's help. God is going to supernaturally intervene and destroy Israel's enemies. Funding from the World Bank and the European Union prevented the Palestinian Authority from suffering a financial collapse, according to a new study by Israel's Institute for National Security Studies released last week. The report found that while the PA has relied heavily on foreign aid since its establishment in the 1990s, the vast majority of recent emergency funding came from Western donors rather than Arab states. But talk about your wonderful allies, the Arabs, the jihadists who love you all so much. How come they are the ones funding the Palestinian Authority? Yeah? And those are your friends. Those are the people that talking about a two-state solution and stuff like that. Yeah, they are not giving you all any funds. Wonder why? I wonder why it is most of those countries, even including Egypt, don't like to accept any of your refugees into their countries either. Especially from Gaza. Gaza, I say. How come? How come?
Bible quote of the day. Psalm 27-9. A psalm of confidence and victory. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save, Lord, let the King hear us when we call.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's headline news. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.